So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. What's happening? Happy Wednesday. Man, how you doing? Are you hanging on for the ride? Because sometimes life gets in the way and makes it kind of bumpy and like, what the heck is happening here? Well, maybe that's not happening for you this week, but I know it's happening to some. I'm thinking a couple of people right now. I know life is just crazy right now. I try to avoid that at all costs and usually do fairly well. That's what I'm going to help you with. Now, today, I want to get into some creativity. Now, I've always been a creative guy ever since I was a teenager. I've earned my living being creative. Over the years, TV, radio, film, all kinds of stuff. And nowadays, what I do these days is what I do. Crack out a podcast. And with over 10,000 episodes in production at this point, I'm pretty prolific. So I'm going to share with that how I do that today. Maybe that'll help you out, okay? How are you? It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. And I'm happy to have you. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer there over at their place where we, pretty simple mission. I mean, it's life is long if you're lucky. And I don't know, most of us get bored. We just don't want to spend time with ourselves. We don't know how to spend time with ourselves. We just get caught up in the caught up. And I know life gets busy. My daughter's got a couple of boys, and they're almost 6 and 9 now, and it's crazy over there. And I get it. It's like, where you been? Why haven't you checked in with me? You homeschool them. They're busy. It's crazy stuff. I get it. Life is like that, but still. We would move ourselves in a direction where we can really create the life that you want. Not what I want you to have, but what you want. That's what the show's all about. Happy to have you here today. So let's talk about creativity. And how do we crank up that creativity? How do we do that? There's a way to do it fast and prolifically. I will tell you today, I'm going to probably do something. I've got about 2 hours of driving later on today that I have to do. I just have to go someplace over in Orlando and then come back over to where I live in the Daytona Beach area. And I'm already deciding what I want to do, and I'll come back around to this, and you'll see how I'm going to go about getting this to happen today using that time. But over the years, I have personally produced over 10,000 podcasts. We're on episode, 4,275. There are more than that. I used to do the fitness boost. I used to do the business boost. I've done multiple shows. At one point in time, I was doing 16 podcasts a week. I will never do it again. That was back in the old days where you didn't have to do show notes and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of crank the podcast out. But I've done a ton. And every one of them began with one thing. Pretty much the written word and my mouth. My fingers and my mouth have had more exercise than just about anything inside my body. There's no doubt about that. But it's also given me a lot of opportunity to learn to keep those words flowing. And by the way, sometimes it starts with a written word and sometimes it starts with a spoken word. It just depends. Now, if you're like most people, you may have found yourself at one point in time sitting in front of a screen. Maybe writing a report for the office, or you're writing something creative for yourself. Maybe you want to do a blog post and you're stuck. You know, one of the exercises I give to my clients when they say they want to do blog posts is I say, we usually pick a number, like 800 words, pretty long blog post. And I'll say, write 8 of them. Write 800-word blog posts. And I've only had 2 people ever actually do it, because what happens is they get stuck at about the 3rd or 4th one. It's like journaling. If you start to journal, you're going to love journaling for about the first week and a half. If you're brand new. And after that, you're going to sit down at the page and there's going to be nothing for you to say. I don't know what to do now. And you have to start get creative. So we see this all the time in trying to create something to fill that blank screen. Could be procrastination, writer's block, whatever. Maybe you're just up too late watching Netflix again. Who knows what it's going to be. But here's how I do it. Here's how I do things, and I think this is going to work for you. First off, any project that I need to wrap my head around always begins by capturing the ideas that flow into my mind throughout the day. This podcast is a direct result of me paying attention to the ideas that pass in and out of my head, and I save them. I actually use Asana, and I use an app on my phone, and I capture the idea. It's not unusual for me to capture 20 or 30 ideas a day on coaching calls, watching television, writing something, recording. Sometimes something pops into my head and I'll go ahead and I'll shoot a note in it. I keep it in a prep file. It's just sitting there. I just let it happen. Sometimes I even get in the car, take a kind of an imaginary commute someplace, spend about 20 minutes, turn the radio off, and I just kind of like start thinking about things. And yeah, I'm talking to myself. Years ago, it used to be kind of weird. You get caught talking to yourself in the car. Now we're on our cell phone, evidently. We can pretend, right? So I just talk to myself. You do the same thing. I don't sing songs. I talk. I'm spewing ideas out. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm capturing as I live my life. If you want to sit down and be creative, that's hard to do. But if you go throughout your life at the gym, at the restaurant, at the office, wherever you happen to be, and you capture little ideas and just save a little snippet of that and tuck it away, kind of in a safe place. So what do I do after that? Well, it's tucked away. I'm going to pull it out. Now, by the way, when I tuck the idea away, there's no organizing, no editing, no rewriting, no nothing. It's just tucked away. And then I'm going to pull it back out and I'm going to say, hey, wait a second. Maybe I can expand on this little memo or something, a little voice memo, just expand on it just a tad. Now, when it's time to go to work, here's what I end up doing. This is me personally. You may or may not want to do this, but I tend to do this. When I'm ready to get to work, I take about 15 minutes and I say, what do I want to work on? I go to my list of stuff and I pull that stuff together. It's a creative list. It could be 25 different ideas. I'm going to toss out what's not relevant because a lot of crap gets in there when you're just letting things flow. And I'm going to make a simple outline. I'm going to walk away, but I'm ready to begin. Now, this is personal for me, and you may do this in a different method. If I'm writing, it'll be the same thing. I've got a basic outline to work off of, but here's the intermediate step that I always do. I take my basic outline, and I walk and talk it. I stand up in my office, or I go out back, or I take a walk around the block, or I take a drive in the car, and I take my basic outline, and now I'm going to riff on it. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to dictate it out and just go. In fact, it's more like an audio writing. It's not really a dictation. I'm going to do it as if this is going to be something that's produced and written, and it's going to look really cool in the written word. I'm going to riff on it like that, like crazy. And when I get done, and there's a point where you just stop. You're like, okay, nothing else I'm going to say here. Done. I take that, pull it out. It becomes an edited piece, and suddenly we have these wonderful things that I get to put out every single day. So let me circle the wagons on this so you get this. I want you to capture ideas all day long. Find a capture device. Could be a piece of paper, could be an app like I use. Capture the ideas. Then when you're ready, pull the ideas out. There's no blank page there. Pull those ideas out and then go riff on them a little bit. I know you can riff by just talking or you can riff by writing. It's up to you. But let your mind get in this flow state so all of a sudden your thoughts are starting to come out, and go as far as you want to. It may not be a completed project at that moment, but just go as far as you want to. When you're ready, pull these that you've maybe riffed on into an order where you can see an outline to what you're going to create. Don't get too crazy with it. Just, 5, 6, 7 bullet points. That's about it. And then get on it. Watch what happens. Every single podcast that I produce here is about 9 minutes long, and each one usually begins with about 400 to 500 words. I call it my daily nugget. I write those things. I send them to my premium members. You probably get that. It begins with that. But if you read the daily nugget, it's 400 or 500 words, and then you hear the couple thousand words I'm saying on the program. You hear me riffing. I will transcribe this, and it'll turn into chapters of a book, because I've had the chance to work out the creativity prolifically every single day. I hope that helps. I hope you get that. It's so simple to do, and it will set you apart from almost anybody out there. Content is everywhere if you'll just pay attention to what's happening in your life. So if you're a creative person, if you need that, need to write marketing stuff for your business, whatever happens to be, just start paying attention and riff it out. Okay, I've gone on enough about this stuff. I should teach a master course in this. I've done it for so long. So tomorrow, what do we want to do? Well, I want to talk about why you should shut your mouth. I mean that only in the nicest, kindest way. Stop telling everybody what you're up to. Stop it. Just do it. And we'll talk a whole lot about that tomorrow and give you the reason why you need to kind of shuffle off into your own little quiet room and just be quiet and get your stuff done. And stop sharing with the world, at least for now. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow right here on this itty-bitty huge program called The Daily Boost.